going on, everybody? Welcome to Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Check out who's in the building. It's Chris Red. What's going on, man?
What up?
Thanks
I said what's up to them. I think they say what up
Say
back.
what's up to them. Say what's up to me.
Answer, right? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Good time for you. New movies coming out. A little break from SNL now that it's summertime. So how's life for you right now?
Man, I'll get to sleep a little bit more, which is always good. Man, somebody saw me recently and they were like, man, you're glowing. I'm like, no, I'm rested. I'm not glowing. Also, my skin was a little greasy. I probably wasn't glowing. But it's been good. Man, I've been back on stage a lot, which doesn't seem like a break for a lot of people, but I get to sleep during the day, so that's
a nice thing.
Yeah, that's really fun. And the movie, man, Deep Murder, which is out on the 14th on demand everywhere.
There you
go. Little plug. Very fun, very original.
Very different. I was telling you off camera.
100%.
Never seen anything like this before.
I know, man. That's my plugging point. It's like you have never seen anything like this, man. It's a soft-core porn parody / comedy / horror film, and it does each of those genres well, and it matches them all together. I've never seen it before in my life. When I was reading the script. When I saw the script title and the description, I was like, there's no way I'm doing this movie. And then I read the script and I was like, there's no way I'm not doing this movie.
How long did it take you reading that script to be like, I'm in?
I was kind of in like the first few pages, because it was like, you know, I'm a fan enough of porn, but I'm like reading, I'm like, okay, and then by like page 15, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is hilarious. I've never seen, I gotta do this.
And the stuff that you're doing as Jace in that movie, I mean, it's ridiculous. Just like the lingo, like the sports stuff, getting everything wrong. The football scene where you're throwing it.
Yo, I love that scene so much. Yo, we did so many like fun improv stuff with that with this film. Because it's just like, we have fun with our archetypes a lot. And, you know, if you watch any softcore porn or a bad movie, you'll see people being like, you know, the sports people or doctors. You're clearly not a doctor.
Right.
You know
it's so ridiculously over the top.
Yeah. And so it's cool to watch those types of people deal with a real issue. And that's what I feel like is like what's most clever about this movie is how they continue to break down each of those archetypes while keeping it fun. And that the horror is pretty real.
Yeah,
so like,
it definitely is.
You know what I mean? So that's like fun. I like the horror comedy genre. It's like one of my favorites right now. So I think this is a cool little parody into that genre.
And people who you're familiar with just in a different situation. So it's like, oh yeah, there's Christopher McDonald. That's Shooter McGavin, but he's in a totally different situation.
You know what I'm saying? That's Katie. Right. She's hilarious. Jerry McConnell, who's, goddamn it, so funny.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Stephanie Drake, Quinn, Josh. There's so many dope people in this film. I just named everybody in it. And there's also porn stars in the movie. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was the first time I saw people like porn stars came to set, and like every dude on the movie just happened to be there all of a sudden.
Interesting how that works.
I'm like, is she shooting today?
Oh.
And there's no point in this movie, but it is crazy. You know what I mean? Like just to see all these worlds combined together, and see how it worked. And I mean, I think it did, man. I think it's a real fun project.
And for somebody like you who loves sketch comedy, to be able to do it in this medium, to do it in SNL, like this is a great time for you to do it, because you could do it on the stage, you could do it in film, you could do it in TV.
Yeah.
What's the best part about diversifying everything you got going on?
You get to really appreciate each medium. You know what I mean? Like, so like if I have something that gets on TV, I appreciate that because I've only had so many things on TV. Also, you get to see how it impacts people, who it impacts, who likes it, and how it just lives in the world. With stage, there's so much. It's so hard to get it on TV that when you're on the stage, you just get to be free and truly dive into like. You're like what you want to do with it, you know what I mean? Whatever, and you appreciate the fact that stage is there, so you can get this off without like, you know, if I wasn't on stage ever, then if I never got it on TV, it would just be an idea that just lives there. But because I have all these other mediums to like perform it, I'm like, well, if I can't get it on this on this show, I'm gonna go to Connecticut and I'm gonna kill it for 12 months. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can swear on this, so I said mother plucks, but I just said mother plucks. I was like, I gotta clean that up for myself. But no, and they all help each other. You know what I mean? Like stage always feeds everything else, and I'm able to work through ideas before I bring it in front of a group of co-workers, friends, and peers I respect, and try making all of them laugh, which is what the job is.
That's the goal, right?
Every time, yeah. 100%. So it's fun, you know what I mean? It's like, it feels like what my closest metaphor I could think of is like somebody playing in the NBA, but then on the off season they play with &1, and they're like, oh, I can just have fun and do more things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can be a little bit more creative. There's some more flow here. It's like I kind of do my own ISO thing. I don't have to worry about the team.
I can roll on my back and no one's gonna.
Nobody would complain at all. Can you imagine if like Steph Curry did that in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, they were like, "What are you doing, sir?
Like, save that for the summer, man. Come on."
Just like it's like, yeah, the NBA's dope. You want to be there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But it just makes you appreciate the street ball.
Absolutely. You want to spread your wings a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were telling me off camera you're a comedy nerd. So I've read stories about you listening to Pryor, big Eddie Murphy guy.
Yeah.
When did you realize you're really a comedy nerd, though?
When I realized I was a comedy nerd is when I took improv and didn't stop taking improv.
And when was that?
That was I was 23. So, I hate doing these years things. Because I'm always wrong. Maybe
so early 20s. Okay. Yeah.
But like, see, I'm really bad at math. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, that's not what that.
Like Chris, no, that's actually not the year.
Yeah, that's not the year.
It's my life. Let me just roll with it.
Please leave. Who are you anyway? But when I went to try improv at Second City for the first time, and I saw a bunch of grown people in there just whooshing around like I'm a tree. It looked so stupid, and but it felt so dope. And I was like, I think I'm like a real nerd for comedy. And I did all the classes, and I had always loved comedy. I always studied movies, always like looked to see how people were doing things, and I've always been so intrigued by it because I was an introvert growing up, and it was hard for me to like talk. I had a stutter and everything, so the way to get around that was to just crack jokes, you know what I mean, and be funny. So I just soak up all the comedy I could, you know. I'm sure there's bigger comedy nerds out there than me, but I don't know. I could talk comedy all day.
I mean, Second City's a good place to soak it up.
Yeah, man. Second City, IO, Chicago, the Annoyance Theater, man, the Playground Theater. What they let us really spread our wings. I hate
really
that.
Try some things out.
I've never been a bird. But no, they really were the first. That's the first theater that kind of let us do experimental stuff, and just like I didn't have a name in the city at all. I was just a guy trying to do it that used to rap. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so they really let between that whole community was like very beneficial for what I do now. You know.
Definitely. I mean, things have obviously worked out. But do you ever wonder about what the rap game would have looked like if you had kept doing that?
No. I don't worry. I don't really think about it like that. I think rap was. I've never stopped. But when I put it down, like it was because I needed to learn myself a little bit more, and I needed to grow a little bit more as a person. I had been chasing it so hard and doing so many different things, I didn't do the necessary things to make it. I feel like, and I think I just wasn't supposed to do it in that way. So whatever's supposed to happen with music, which with comedy music, is like been a blessing, man, because it's so much fun, and I have so much fun with it, and there's so much stuff left to do and exploring it. So I think it was just I think I will whatever I was meant to do in rap and hip hop will happen. You know what I mean? In music in general, it'll happen, and I'm satisfied with that.
So what did you learn about yourself when you put the rap stuff behind you?
That I'm a nerd, like a huge nerd, and with rap, I was like always trying to run the streets and just like try to be hard. I was like short, so I had to like just kind of be tough, fight all the time.
A little chip on your shoulder type deal. Yeah.
But then like comedy taught me how to be vulnerable a little bit and look at myself and be like, dog, chill.
It's okay to be emotional.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's okay to like, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to stay in and read. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to like not want to do these things if you're uncomfortable in these situations or whatever, like, or just be real with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, so let me come to terms with myself and like, and see my flaws and not really be bogged down by them, but celebrate them. You know what I mean? And just like communication. I wasn't so angry. You know, because I just really found everything that I needed in myself, and comedy was a huge missing piece that I was just trying to like evade the whole time.
That's awesome.
And I was like, oh, I should have been like embracing it.
Yeah. So you start to embrace it. Second City, things going well.
Yeah.
When do you start to realize you could really make this thing into a career?
Oh no, I didn't have that thought like that. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna make a. It was just like I gave myself 3 years.
Okay.
Which is so stupid. But I gave myself 3 years. Like in 3, I'm gonna go hard for 3 years, and I'm just gonna do nothing but work, nothing but study, nothing but go to shows, do shows, produce shows. 3 years, I'm just gonna do nothing but this. And if I don't have a reason to keep doing it, I'm gonna go get a regular job. Cause I'd already chased the dream. Like rap, I had chased rap for years and years and years and years. And so after those 3 years, I was like, I had moved up faster than anybody in the city around that I had known. And people were mad about that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And I was getting paid to do comedy, and not a lot.
No, but it's a huge deal to just be getting some dough for it.
100%. And I was like, this is definitely like a decent sign. So then I kept going, and then before I knew it, I was touring. I say all this before I know it stuff, man. Like this is a long time.
You're giving me the condensed version.
Yeah. A lot of couches I slept on. A lot of couches smell like booty, bro. Like a lot of people don't wash their couches. You don't understand that.
Can you guys wash your couches? Come on.
Wash your couch. I don't even know how to begin washing the couch. I wash my couch. Can you say both those sentences together? I don't know how to begin washing the couch. I wash my couch. I get somebody to wash my couch, I think. I don't know.
Were you working regular jobs as you were starting to do everything?
Man, when I decided to start improv, I was at this risk management insurance company. Most boring thing.
What was your title?
I've ever done in my life. I still didn't have a license, so I was just like doing like little shit while I was studying for my license. But I read the book. I read this book that they gave, this thick ass book, took the test, passed, got my license, and in 2 weeks, which was crazy.
Wow.
But I mean, I can read a cipher and just
pass the test.
I could read it, pass the test, But it was still god awful boring, dude. Like, it was crazy. And I would walk in a suit all the way to my improv class, and then I would just keep doing that for a couple of weeks. But I had 50 jobs before comedy. That was my last one, and I quit that job. And everything I had saved up, I just put that into classes. And any other jobs I had was all tied to comedy. So it was, I used to teach at Tilden High School for the after school programs. We used to teach writing and improv, and
that's awesome.
Really just be big brothers to all the kids, And then I would perform like, they had this BizCo, they had these, the business improv shows where you just go in with a sea of doctors at a convention at 12 a.m. and you just do sketches and improv. Yeah, I mean, it sounds bad, but it was cool and it was fun. It was good money.
It's a part of the journey too.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it teaches you how to like not say certain things at certain times.
Like what?
Like any, think of any swear word ever. Those words.
Knowing your environment, knowing your audience.
Yeah, 100%. And then. Yeah, I mean, I almost forgot the question. I feel like I answered it though.
Yeah, you definitely did. So you're starting to make this thing happen.
Right. Yeah.
You're doing your little things here. You're saying I'm done with the risk management.
Yeah. Oh, that was so bad.
You're saying no, thank you. And then when does like the whole TV thing start to come into the picture?
The TV thing. Oh well, at that point, like, what? So TV came in when it was kind of there. Like when I saw myself getting good at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I could act or do some shows or something, like do a show. So there's like a natural progression that all actors in Chicago do, I think, or most. If you're not doing stage, it's like just get some commercials. Just get some commercials popping, and maybe you can get a guest star on this show here,
right.
And so it's like that's what I just started trying to do, and I got a couple of commercials, and I booked enough where to survive off of, I guess, not survive. But
just barely get by.
Just to keep going. It's all about small wins. It's always about that when you're coming up. Like, you gotta like, oh, this may not pay all my bills, but it's something that's letting me know, like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Right. I'm out there. People can see my stuff.
Exactly. And then there's this like show, the Playboys Club, or Playboy Club that came out like years ago. It canceled like pretty immediately. But I was supposed to play a role on that, and I had booked that. It was the first thing I really booked. and it was super early when I booked it. Like I was like maybe 3 years in,
Wow.
and I booked it, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I think I can like really do this, yeah. And then a little bit later, I booked Empire, just a small role in that, but then I started, and I booked Chicago PD, like kind of close. So I started like booking little things, and I was like, oh, okay, yo, I think I could like make a career out of this. And so like, and SNL will be having those their auditions, but I was never like chosen because all the theaters have to choose their people. And I think because I played in so many different ones that no one ever chose me, I'm assuming that, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't good to them or something.
You just kind of got lost in the shuffle at that point.
I mean, it was hard to do. I had so many shows. I don't know why. You know, it's not really something I was like either chasing people down for either, because I wasn't like, I wasn't gonna be like, put me on your showcase. Right. Because so many people do that already. So I was like, man, if I'm supposed to do that, it'll happen. You know what I mean? Like, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put me on a show at some point. I didn't get on a showcase for SNL until I was in LA, and they were like, do you want to do a showcase? I was like, hell yeah.
I've been waiting.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, hell yeah, for sure. And I did it. You know what I mean? I got flown out the first time, I didn't get it. Then the second year, I got it. You know, and I was dope. So it was like, oh, cool. Sometimes you gotta go outside your own city. You know
Definitely. Well, a couple interesting things. You were doing TV before SNL. For a lot of people, they're doing the sketch thing and they just jump right to SNL. Yeah. So that was different for you, number one. And then number two, first time it doesn't work out, you go back a second year and you get it done. So your story is really a little bit different from everybody else's.
It's crazy. I remember talking to the Lonely Island guys about that. They were like, they call me privileged because.
Why they call you privileged?
They're like, when I got SNL, we were coming from college, man. We had nothing. It was just us, a couch, a laptop,
and a camera.
And a camera. And I'm like, and I came from disjointed. I'm like, that's not my story. I came with a paycheck already, son. You know what I mean? But I had struggled in 2 other cities. I struggled in Chicago. I struggled in LA. I refused to struggle in New York like that. On that level, like I was like, a job would move me there. I'm not going to like show up and just try to do it again.
Can't do the same thing again.
Nah, man, I was pretty. I mean, listen, if things that went different and I had to come hustle, sure, of course, like I can say that now,
right?
I don't have to
now you're comfortable. Now you can say
you can say anything from a cloud.
It's a lot different, 30,000 feet up in the air.
100%. But I'm fortunate and blessed that I didn't have to like do that that way. Yeah.
So what happened the first time? Why didn't it work out?
Don't nobody
know that. Were you nervous? What did you do in the first audition?
My first audition was fun. Yeah. I had a good time. I heard laughs, and they told me that you don't get laughs for real.
Yeah, who was sitting in there when you did the first one?
Same as I'm assuming same as every time. So Lauren, head writers, some producers. Yeah, but they're all in like this. They're all in darkness. So you don't.
It's a really weird situation.
I couldn't walk in and be like, oh. Yeah. I just walked in like.
Is there anybody
over there? Yeah. Also, I was not trying to look over there because I wanted to stay in my zone. So I just got up on that stage and just do what I do on that stage, and it was fun, man. Like it wasn't a bad audition at all. I felt pretty good about it. Had a good conversation with Lauren after it, and it's just, you know. He knows probably. He knows probably why I didn't get it, or maybe he don't.
Have you ever asked him?
Oh,
well, now you're there. I mean,
man, nah. We didn't talk about it, but that ain't, you know, nah. It's nothing that would interest anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also, like, I never asked him like, why didn't I get it last year? Like,
yeah, because you're in the building and you realize it now. It's just like I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, your paths are already made. You're just connecting the dots with yourself in time. You know, so I mean, I'm there when I'm supposed to be there.
Definitely. So you get in the building, and we were talking off camera. The first year was pretty wild for you because it's like a whole new life, whole new sleep schedule. Yeah. What was the biggest change for you in terms of life and working on that show?
I mean, biggest change, man. It was like a lot of changes for sure. The biggest change is like I have my own place that has my name on it. I was couch surfing for years. So couch surfing is when you like you rent a couch in a house and nothing else is yours.
It's like a poor man's Airbnb.
Yeah. It's like I could be homeless, but this person cares, you know. And so I in small rooms on air mattresses. So I had my own bed, my own place.
That must have been really nice.
Yeah, you know, that was like, and just like having my own little life in New York is dope. That's the biggest thing. The Emmy was insane. Like that was huge.
That's a game changer.
100%. Like, you know, and just I mean, there's so many things that I love about what that job has brought, man. But just being able to work with with some like people that I grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? Like the relationships I get to build with like Kate, Keenan, with Cecily. I mean, now I started this name thing. Now I gotta keep this name thing going forever. I've been doing. I do this all the time. I start naming people, and I'm like, oh, do I name everybody? But I want to like just to work with my people. To come over there with my best friend Sam J, was a comic out of Boston, and just to come to this place and just really make new bonds and like, you know, Will Stevens, shout out Will Stevens. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just do a 15 minutes of shout outs.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, just the rest of the interview. Just spend your It's like, any more questions? Nah, we're good.
Nah, we good. Anyway, yeah.
Well, you mentioned Keenan. He's an institution there. And like you said, you grow up watching him. How do you become tight with him to the point where he's like, yo, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna give you some tips here.
Oh, man. Keenan's everybody big brother, bro. He's, as soon as I walked in the door, he's just like, what's up? Very cool. Anybody can come to Keenan, man. Like, honestly, like that's just like who he is. And he's a legend for a reason. He's just as nice as he is just as good as he is. So, yeah, it wasn't even me asking. Even though I was like, yo, you're my big brother now.
I need you.
He was like, let's get it, man. I'm here, anything you need. But he's so much fun to create with and work with, man. I mean, it's why he's been there the way he is, you know what I mean?
For a long, long time.
Yeah, why he has 50,000 shows on TV right now, you know? He's the best, man.
So in year 2, was there a point where you really feel comfortable to say like, all right, you know what, I kind of understand what's going on here. Did it happen in year 1? Did it happen in year 2? When was the moment where it's just like, I really feel like I belong here at SNL?
I mean, I felt pretty comfortable pretty much right away. Yeah, I mean, there were things I was still learning, still getting comfortable with, because there's a lot that comes with that job. Yeah. But as far as like the day-to-day and being on set, like that was pretty immediate. You know what I mean? Like I had like friends already there, and making friends there is not terrible. And also we're all working and we all work hard, and we all like we all just want to be the funniest we can be. And so that's like. Totally. That bonds everybody in the building already, and there's so much, and the crew is so cool, and they've all been there a long time. So you just kind of like just get to know people, and as you get to know people, comfort just comes with that. I'm comfortable in a lot of different places though, pretty quick.
Seems like your personality. You just kind of hop in.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying. You know, and if I'm not comfortable, I just leave.
Just say I'm out.
You know, or make myself comfortable how I can best. You know.
Yeah, you insert yourself in there.
Yeah, but I was pretty comfortable pretty quick. Still on my toes though. You know,
you gotta be there, right?
Never get caught sleeping.
Can't be on your heels.
I mean, I've been caught sleeping, but like not like that.
Well, it's understandable. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes you gotta sleep, fam. You know?
So some people, when it comes to summertime, they're just chilling. They don't want to do anything. Yeah. You're doing stand-up. You're doing movies. Why is it important for you to do that stuff in addition to everything you got going?
Because you know, stand-up is a whole different beast. It's a whole different career of mine, and I love it. And it's like something you got to continue to work, or you lose it. You know. So I'm always in fear of that. You know what I mean? Fear of just like all of a sudden not being good at that. And I just love doing it. And that's the most time I have to do it. This is the first time in my SNL was the first job that tired me out. I've been able to overwork every job I've ever had until this one. And this one's the first one that made me say vacation. You know what I mean? It's
yes,
like,
please.
I need to just like sit down because I'm a person and I'm running out of energy, you know. So I'm learning how to balance. If you looked at my schedule in the first half of summer, you wouldn't think I was, but.
You are gonna shut it down at some point.
Yeah. I definitely plan on shutting it down. I got some people in my life that will definitely not let me run it to the ground anymore. I did that last summer. I worked all summer, and it was like, oof.
Yeah, I'm sure you came back in the fall and you're like, wait.
No, I came back running hot because I was already running, and then by winter time, bow, you know. But that won't happen no more. But yeah, but I love to work, and so I just constantly just keep in mind like to chill out. But I love doing stand up, love getting up, and even if I sleep all day and go up and do 3 shows, that's still good work for me.
Do you find it hard to balance? Because with stand-up, it's like you constantly feel like you have to be out there. There's so many different platforms for movies and TV shows. How do you shut it down?
You leave. You leave. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out, fam. No, last year I took a trip where there's like nothing for me to dive into.
Completely unplugged.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like I'm gonna stick to that formula for now. Let's kind of see how that goes. Because if I'm in a city that has comedy, I will go do it. Yeah, I will go do comedy. Like unless it's like families there, you know. Like I think I've been to Atlanta one time where I didn't do comedy. Ooh. But I think that's a lie.
You can kind of find a comedy club anywhere in the world now, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of great scenes out there too. Bro.
Yeah.
So so every time I pop in somewhere, I'm like, I'm not gonna do no shows. and then someone's like, oh, I got called into work, and I'm like, I'm gonna go do shows.
Give me an example of a scene that really blew your mind, somewhere that you were just like, wait a minute, this is a cool comedy scene here.
I mean, I feel like I knew about all the comedy scenes before I got there. But the ones that reaffirmed it for me, Toronto. Yeah. Toronto was, oh man, their scene is so dope. I love doing comedy there. Denver has a great scene. Well, I don't know about the scene. Now that I'm saying it now, like I'm like,
you're like, eh.
No, they have great clubs and I love doing comedy there, but I don't know. I haven't been in their scene. I'm sure their scene's great.
Right. But it checks the box for you in terms of what you're looking for.
Yeah. Like when I look forward to going to Denver is what I know for sure. Atlanta scene is insane. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. New York scene is incredible. I love being a part of this scene. Like it's so. I've been wanting to be a part of the New York scene for a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's the best for a reason.
Yeah, well, Chicago give it its run. I think it's a great place to do comedy. I feel like because of the way the city's set up and structurally, like, and just by way of who's in what side of town, right? To go and be able to perform in all parts of that city just prepares you for everything. So I think that's like the best way to start.
It makes sense why there's so much crossover between Chicago and New York, Second City and SNL.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a hand-in-hand situation, man. Yeah, definitely. I think Chicago's the best, bro.
I feel you.
LA scene's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
But it's like number 3 behind New York, Chicago?
Yeah.
I got you.
It has to be.
Yeah. No, it's just,
it has
not.
other things.
Yes.
LA will be fine.
They'll be fine without comedy being number 1. I think LA will survive. Yeah. So when people check out Deep Murder, or if they haven't seen you on SNL and they're just getting used to you, when it comes to you as a performer, what do you want people to think about your style, your craft, and just when they lock into you, what do you want them to think about you?
Oh man, what I want you to think. That's deep, bro.
That's what we do here.
Put a lot of squares, man, but they got a lot of depth. You know what I'm talking about? When you see me, I want you to think comedy. I live and eat and breathe this thing, man. I like telling a lot of stories, but I like telling stories with a lot of jokes in them. I like doing a lot of characters, a lot of original characters, man. From my life. Do not expect to see me do like an impression you yell out.
That's got to annoy you, right?
I'm not an impressionist, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you've had to do
I can do impressions, but I'm not like the dude like, and do Rodney Dangerfield. You know, and then I'm like, oh, well, I don't. That's not my shit. Yeah. I love improv. I like to improvise. I'll do jokes right in front of you out of nowhere. Like if I'm playing with the audience and we'll have a great time.
Yeah, the crowd works good, but like just on the spot to be like, hey, do Kanye. It's like, come on.
I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not doing it. If you come in here to yell, do Kanye, just go. You have a better shot at just yelling at Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna do that. But I do have a lot of other dope characters and stories from my life and what's going on, and I just we have a good time. I have a great time. Please come watch me do that. I've never had to tell people what to take away from me. But take away that I love this. I hope you see that.
There you go. Why don't you tell everybody when they can check out the movie as well?
Yo, you can check out D Murder, June 14th in select theaters and on demand on Amazon, on Netflix. I don't know if we have a Netflix contract or not. I should have kept turning around. No. Yeah, please check it out, man. It's fun as hell, and it's very original. I'm in it, and I play a dumb jock, and it's one of the funnest roles I've ever done.
It's hilarious.
And so you should definitely go check it out.
You know the role.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you,
Good to meet you. All right, everybody. See you next time here on The Sit Down.
You got a good-ass TV.